raining. It's rained for about 3 days solid, so we're going to have a look at this shed roof up here and see if we can recover it. Certainly in need of recovering. I don't know if the camera's going to focus in. It's looking a little bit rotten in places. There you go. It's been over, I think, up for about 10 years, just over 10 years. I think the felt's okay, it's just that it's shrunk and the seam is split. We'll have a look from the top. So looking on top of it here from the window, you can sort of see really where it's shrunk back and it's kind of torn where the nails would have gone through. So I'm just about in time to save this, because if we got some high wind, that would whip up and it would completely rip. So the felt itself seems to be quite intact. I could remove it, but it's always an extra layer of protection, so I think I'm just going to go straight over the top with some new felt and some sealant, and then do some edging stripping around the edge, if that's what you want to call it. And I think that'll do it, and hopefully the wood inside will dry out. I might have to use a heater, and we can get back to using the shed shack. This is the felt I've got. I think it's a reasonable quality. I used it on the summer house roof there, and it's got a 10-year guarantee, and that's been up about 2 years on the summer house, and that seems absolutely fine. It's quite thick, so I'm just going to use that. I've got some felt lap adhesive, just a general adhesive, acrylic adhesive, and then some clout nails. Couldn't get any felt nails at 20mm. I had to get clout nails, but that seems to be the same thing. And that's it. So I think we just need to get on with it. I won't be able to video it right the way through because I'm rushing some showers that are coming in this afternoon. I want to get it done before then. But I'll show you the finished job when it's done. Guess I spoke too soon about the weather, because we're back to the rain again. But I pretty much finished it. I've got the top on, as you can see there. Yeah. As you can see, look, I don't muck about with nails, you know. I certainly over-engineer things, and that's adhesive and nails. But there's certainly quite a few nails in there. It's not going anywhere, is it? That's for sure. And yeah, it's all covered. It's all covered. So I've just got the side pieces to cut and put on. Just back in the shed until it gets really, really cold. I've got an idea to keep the little President Truman from getting sort of moisture type damp in there. Things can get a little bit damp. At least the roof won't be leaking now, which means nothing's going to get completely soaked. But I'll show you that in a second when I've got it set up. I'll show you what I'm going to hopefully do to with the radio that will protect it throughout the winter, because it's just quite handy nipping out to that little shed every now and then and doing a little bit of radio. Had so much rain the last few days. It's dry today, but typically I've got things to do today. I can't get on and finish the shed. It's just been one of those things that every time I've had a day off work, it's just rained all day consistently. It reminds me, and I'm going to waffle on a bit here, sorry, this is Fred 2. I know people find it boring, but you do get a little bit of waffle. It reminds me of a book that I read, and a part of it, and the book was by Douglas Adams. I do miss Douglas Adams and Terry Pratchett, actually. It's that kind of humour, you either get it or you don't. But part of the book was this poor guy that was very, very depressed, because every time he had tried to do something in his life outdoors, go to an event, something like that, it had rained and it completely ruined it, to the point where his friends, or the friends that he had left, deliberately didn't invite him to anything that was out in the open, because they reckoned that he was some kind of a Jonah, and it would rain and it would ruin it. And when you found out the truth was that he was a rainmaker. The gods had perceived to make him a rainmaker with the intention that he was supposed to travel to areas of famine, like, you know, Ethiopia, where it never ever rains, and he was supposed to travel there. His purpose in life was to travel there and, of course, make it rain and end suffering. He was sort of like an instrument of their design to end suffering. But the irony was he didn't know. So as far as he was concerned, the weather just completely ruined his life, which it did. But anyway, it just sticks in my mind. So here we are with the shed. I've still got to finish it. I'm still got to put, here we go, this is where it doesn't focus, but I've still got to put the edging strip on. Every time I've come out it's rained, and the old edging strip completely rotten there. But I did cock up. I did make a mistake. I didn't realise this, because although I appear to have fixed the leak, which is good, although the wood still needs to dry out. Can you see my mistake? Look. As you look across, all of the bloody nails have come through the roof on the shed. So this is quite dangerous. This is now quite sharp. If I was to rub that with my hand, that wouldn't be so good. So yeah, I didn't really realise that. I've put in loads and loads of nails, completely over-engineered it, and then ended up with a situation where I can get a porcupine haircut. So I now need to put another strip just to make that a little bit safer. But as I say, it's drying out. It's just that it's been so bloody damp. There's no more water coming in. It's drying out, and so there we go. Dodging the showers, a little bit of DIY. And I don't know, it seems like everybody else is doing DIY, because this is not really the wood that I wanted to use to do the edging strip on the shed. I really wanted something that was about this thick, about this thickness and a half again, and I wanted to use pressure treated wood that's fit for outdoor use. Unfortunately couldn't get it. It just seems to be one of those things, so we got some of this stuff instead. It's only really just to finish the edge of the shed, but I will need to put some preservative on it, and that's it. Just tidies it up. As I say, I used the original strip as that was in. I think I'd replaced that before, and that's the width I wanted to get, but just couldn't get it. So I just need to put some preservative on this wood when I don't think it's going to rain. But at the moment it's raining every time I come outside. But there's the old seam down the shed itself, and yeah, quite a few nails, but the adhesive is now hardened off. So I don't think that any more water is going to get in, and also that's lapped up to about there as well, so it's quite a lap. And yeah, so I think that's it. I think the shed should now be waterproof. It still needs to dry out a little bit, but the weather's not been so great. And then I can get on and show you what I've done inside. Right. So do you remember I kind of created a bit of a problem with those nails coming through, so all I've done is just put some adhesive on that, some shed felt adhesive, and stuck that up along the shed just to protect my little barnet there, not so I don't get it scalped. And that's it. Yeah, and I still need. I need to get a heater in here. It's getting there, but once something gets damp now, in the winter, it really doesn't dry out. So I need to maybe put a heater in there. Right, so this is going to be the basis of the winter setup. Got a little President Truman there, just on the shelf, just to sort of monitor the 1.9. Going to run it through the KL203, which I originally had set up here. I've not had great success with this on sideband, but the other day when I tried it on FM, it seemed to work okay. It's been out here a long time, but it is hardwired into these two 33 amp power supplies there, and I think someone asked, they're not running series, they're individual. So one's for a radio, the other one is for the amplifier. And then the idea is, I've got one of these core bags which has insulation in, and we've picked up some of these little silica packets, like you get when you buy sort of electronic items. So what I'm going to do is I'll be taking these out of Right, just going to edit it on myself. I thought I might as well show you this. So this is how it's going to be when I'm not using the radio. Like I say, there's the box there. We unzip this one-handed. There you go, that's the radio. Inside got the little silica packets and a microchrome fibre cloth at the bottom. And that's it, and keep everything sort of zipped up. And like I say, I think that's going to work. Anyway, let's get back and finish this video because it's going on a bit. How it goes. I mean, if the little radio dies, well, I will be a bit upset because I'm quite like this little radio now I've got it. But obviously, it's not the end of the world. Going to leave the UV5R out here as well. I generally leave that out here. I just monitor the PMR bands when I'm about in the shed and just see how it goes. That power supply has been out here for about 3 years since I made it. These ones have been out the same as the Linear. Everything seems to work. It is things that I'm going to sacrifice, if you like. But yeah, that's just going to be the little winter setup, just so I can pop out here when I'm doing sort of stuff in the garden and that, and keep an eye on the 19 there, keep an eye, and also Jake's 35 group. Try and get a few contacts on there, and see how it goes. So there we go. We've now got a dryish shed once it dries out, and we've got a winter setup to do a few little videos out here in the winter. So Freddy in the Shed 2, thanks for sticking with it. I know it's as boring as watching paint dry, literally. I get that, I know. But yeah, that's what Freddy in the Shed 2 is about. I hope you're all staying safe. We're going into another kind of lockdown situation, aren't we, it looks like. So I hope you're all staying safe. Please stay well. And of course, I'll catch you all on the next one. So cheers. Catch you later.